it's like the punishment is going forever, you know? Like, it's like,
So it's no secret that OnlyFans is a pretty huge platform nowadays. You know, tons of people are signing up trying to make some quick and easy money, posting a variety of adult content. Anything from tame modeling pictures and selfies to straight up corn. When you hear about what some of the creators are making on there, you could see why plenty of people are jumping on the bandwagon. But what isn't being discussed much and what you don't hear about are the serious, long lasting effects of diving tit first into that career path, which I feel like everyone knows deep down what these consequences are, but they think that maybe the money and fame overshadows it. And today we're going to be taking a look at someone who decided to talk about their experience. My career destroyed my personal life. The consequences no one talks about.
I wanted to talk about why I went into the industry. I did talk about it a few times on my Twitch channel. Basically, I did not grow up with money like a lot of Asian families and people my age. My parents immigrated from Korea and they tried to set up a life here, make sure me and my brother had a good education in America, and they tried to make it here in America. But there was a lot of politics with my grandparents and my parents, and we grew up very frugally. And I remember growing up seeing my parents constantly fighting, constantly arguing. I've seen my parents at their worst, treating each other not the best, treating me and my brother not the best, not because they're evil, but because they were constantly worried about surviving. Like, they were trying to feed themselves and feed us and make sure that we were given all the basic needs. At a young age, I already created an opinion about money that I didn't like it. I don't really give a shit about money, to be honest. As I grew up, I realized, like, as I got to college and stuff like that, I realized that money is important. It's not that I didn't know it was important, but that you had to make a lot of money in this world to be comfortable, just to be happy, just to have things that you need. And sadly and unfortunately, basic needs are really expensive. And
Yeah, so there's no doubt that money's important. I definitely agree that it has a huge impact on your life and quality of your life. And you could kind of see where this is going already. The thing about money having a huge impact on your life, though, is so do your actions. And in this case, her actions were going into that specific career path, which, even if you do make a lot of money doing it, is that really gonna outweigh the trade off you're making to put yourself out there like that? I don't know if it is. You know, it seems like every few months you hear about a different porn star who passes away from something, you know, from self-harm. By all means, rich and famous ones too, successful ones. Like, money is definitely important, but there's a lot of other things that are important as well.
my senior year of high school, I actually told my parents that despite how much I loved school and how hard I worked in high school, like all the AP classes and stuff, that I did not want to go to university because I didn't know how to pay for it, and I didn't want to put the burden of my tuition on my parents. My brother went to community college because of the same reason, and my parents felt like they didn't want to make the same mistake twice, so they were super adamant about sending me to a university. So they supported me my first semester of college. After my first semester of college, I just could not focus in school knowing that I was sacrificing something for my education. Like, I was putting hardship on the people I love, my family, for my education. And if I were someone who were selfish or not mindful, I think I could have focused in school, but it was always on the back of my mind when I was taking my classes that the only reason why I'm here, the only reason why I'm taking these classes is because of, like, my parents' blood, sweat, and tears. And having that weight on my shoulders was very heavy.
The parents' blood, sweat, and tears didn't want to put any hardship on the parents, so then go do porn? That's kind of contradictory right there. I mean, these parents, man, immigrated from the Korean lands for a prosperous, happy future for the kids, and I feel like this would put a burden on them. I feel like getting railed online is going to put some hardship on a parent. That's another thing about corn, you know, and heading down that career path, is that, from what I could see, that it not only affects the person in a pretty pretty bad way, but also everyone around them as well. Especially the family, the mom, the dad, siblings, possibly even losing friends and cutting out a lot of romantic options. I mean, it affects everybody.
So my second semester of college, my parents had moved back to Korea, and I texted them saying that I was going to move out of the house that we used to live in, and I wanted to get my own apartment, and I wanted to pay for my own tuition, and I would get a job and work, get good grades, and I'll graduate and live on my own. They respected my decision, and so I moved out, and then COVID hit. So I quickly realized how hard it was to make money. I was working 50 hours a week and going to school. And because I took a lot of AP classes in high school, my college classes, my freshman year, were very difficult. I was overwhelmed. I was paying for my own tuition, working, going to school, paying rent and paying for food, and also just trying to also be a college student and, go out to eat once in a while and stuff like that. And I did not have a lot of money despite all of that. And I'm sure a lot of, if you're a college student, I was there as well. Amongst all of that, I would text and call my parents once in a while. And my mom, she has a lot of health issues, and she would tell me that she would get sick here and there, which was pretty often, actually frequent. And I would tell her to go see a doctor. She would tell me that she couldn't go to the doctor because it costed too much and medicine costed too much. And I felt like an urgency to fix all of my problems and my family's problems. I wanted to find something that would make me a lot of money, but also give me time to finish school and have a social life and get some sleep. That is why I went into the industry.
She doesn't mention that she was a stripper for 3 years before entering the industry. That's what she said in her first industry video. And it's actually true after doing a quick Google search, which just kind of makes this video seem less genuine. I mean, when you say you were working 50 hours a week and conveniently leaving out stripping, that makes this reasoning of, being desperate and turning to desperate measures less likely. I don't know why you'd leave that detail out. Leave it out for sympathy, I guess. The reality is, I feel like a lot of people who go into OnlyFans, go into the industry, do it because it's just easy money. Simple as that. You're not grinding your ass off at some retail store or fast food restaurant. It's just a very easy career with no barrier to entry that pays a lot of money. Why can't we just be honest? She was probably doing the stripping for a few years and naturally was tempted to make even more money taking the next step. Let's not be disingenuous with the sob story.
Always wanted to be in those lovey, cute relationships with a single partner, and which is what I've always strived to have. My body count before I went into the industry was very low. It was under 10. Going into the industry, it was a logical, but I didn't go into it because I wanted to. It wasn't because I wanted to be promiscuous. I did it because I assumed that it would make a lot of money and that it would support my family. And I just wanted my mom to be able to go to the hospital when she's sick, and I want to go to the hospital when I'm sick. And I wanted to relieve that weight off of my family's shoulders. And so I basically took the bullet, and people warned me about the consequences, and I did not care because all I cared about was the happiness of my family and me.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think most families are gonna be happy seeing you online in that kind of content. I don't understand this. What happened to picking up extra shifts, getting 2 jobs potentially, taking out student loans, which does suck, but then you can get into your desired career path and make more money that way. I mean, there's so many other things one could do to make money besides immediately resorting to stripping and then entering the industry. Desperate measures, no, people at the end of the day, they want money, they want easy money, but the thing is, good things don't come easy, and if they do, there's always going to be some sort of trade-off.
So I buckled up and went into the industry. I hated every moment of it. I did not enjoy a single moment of the industry. I never enjoyed it. It was not me. I was putting on a character. I was acting. I was in it for 6 months, the professional industry. And then I continued to make content for a year and a half after that on making my own content to further increase my revenue and have ownership of my content. Fast forward to the present time, I have been retired for 2 years. During the time that I've been trying to like find myself and work on myself and be a human, be a normal person, in the past year, I've realized that I've lost in attempts to create a comfortable, safe, healthy environment for my family and for me, I've lost the ability to be human, be normal. I can't leave my house. I've been struggling to date. Everybody needs an outlet. If you're stressed, if there's something in your life that you're not happy about, everyone has to have an outlet. And my outlet was going out with friends, just going to raves, going to music festivals, and just, hanging out and taking a break from my internet personality. And so in the past year, I realized that I'm no longer able to have an outlet anymore because anytime I leave my house, I get constantly reminded that I have to be her. I don't know if it's like regret. When I was in Korea, I had a conversation with my mom and she asked me if I regretted my decision to go into my career. And I told her if I could go back, I would do it again because I did this for us. I thought I was setting myself up for the future. I would have a life that was peaceful and calm and safe. And so I can't go outside without someone reminding me that people recognize me and people know who I am. I just hope one day there will come a time where this was all worth it. The punishment is going forever, it's like I grew up religious, so I recently did reconnect with my spirituality as well.
If you're wondering, she is still active on OnlyFans and is actually online right now while I'm making this video. It's still advertised in the bio, top 20 Asian porn star on Pornhub. The moral of the video is that actions have consequences. Everything comes with a trade-off at the end of the day. I feel like most people deep down know what the consequences are when they do things, but choose to do it anyway because the future of facing them just isn't here yet and doesn't actually exist. But the future inevitably does come, and you'll always have to live with the weight of your actions, whether you like them or not. And I think it's always better to just own them instead of hiding behind some kind of sob story and excuses to justify your decisions. You can own your decisions and still regret them instead of being disingenuous and doing some kind of mental gymnastics to try and garner sympathy or whatnot. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more videos coming soon to the channel, and let me know what your thoughts are on this. On one hand, it's a very unfortunate situation she's in. I hope for nothing but the best for her and her family, but on the other, when you willingly make these decisions that you know deep down will have very serious consequences, it's difficult to feel bad. You do reap what you sow at the end of the day, and more people need to be aware of the consequences of their actions. But let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment. Peace.